Houdini 22 has added some new time-related nodes to Copernicus, so let's look at what they are and how they work. So I'm in COPS here. I just have a flow block set up here. Nothing too fancy. It's just one of these new grunges, and then we're wiring that in, and then a fractal noise. This just gives us just something to work with here that we can use for our time-related nodes. And one of the other things that I want to point out with COPS now is if you're starting to have issues with your resolution and VRAM, there is a new setting here. If you come up to Edit and come to Copernicus settings, we can set this auto unload to one of these other settings here, and that will unload some of the nodes and kind of free up your VRAM. So if you're having issues with VRAM, then maybe check out these settings and see if that will help your situation. In theory, it should. They are in beta, so we'll see as time goes on, but give those a shot. So we have a set of new nodes here. There are 4 of them. We have time blend, we've got time loop, time shift, and then time pack. They're all new in 22. So time blend here is basically just going to allow us to hold on some frames or hold the frames. So by default, it's going to be set to this F start, and then the last one will be F end. So let's go ahead. I'm going to delete this channel and let's set this to something like 10. So what this is going to do is it's going to take our first frame here. It's going to hold that until frame 10. And then it's going to start to simulate. So you can see that we have nothing going on here. Frame 10 hits, and then we start to get that movement. We can do the same thing for the hold the last frame. So if I just delete that and I set this to like frame 30, let me just reset that first frame there. We're going to simulate up to frame 30. Once we hit frame 30, it's just going to hold that. So if that's something that you want to do, this is going to be the node that you want to use. Time loop works a little bit differently. So go ahead, jump back to the beginning. If I go ahead and press play here, you can see that we're going to get this kind of looping animation where it's going to cycle back every 24 frames. So 24 frames in, on our 25th frame, we're going to loop back to that very first frame. You can change around the length here, and you can change the frame start as well if you want. We also have a different loop type. So we've got zigzag. So if I press play, you can see what this is going to do. It's going to kind of ping pong back and forth between those frames. Could give you something interesting depending on what you're going for. And then we've got this blend one, and we've got some different blend shapes. We can either do linear or cosine. I'm going to bump this up a little bit, maybe to 48 frames. It's a little bit hard to kind of see what's going on here. I wanted to create a flip book here, and let's do to frame 48. And let's start this. This should load up our end play here, and it's going to just kind of bake this out for us so that we can play this in real time here. And what this is going to do is it's going to blend between our frames, give us in some cases, a nice blend. In other cases, it's not going to work quite as well. But if I go ahead and press play here, you can see we get this kind of blend between. It's trying to create a seamless kind of looping animation here, which doesn't exactly work in this case, but depending on what you're doing, it might work. And you can play around with the linear and cosine as well as the frame length. They can give you just some different results. Then we've got this time shift here, which by default is going to be set to this absolute shift with F start as the from and F start as the end. So it's basically going to not do anything by default with this absolute shift. So if we were to take this first one, I'm going to delete this channel here, and then I'm going to delete this second one as well. Actually, we'll leave that one. So we can take this, and let's say we want to start with frame 30. Now on frame 1, we've simulated up to frame 30, and we're moving that back to frame 1 here. So we can simulate through now. There's also by time. So this one's basically pretty similar to how the time shift node works in like SOPs. Then we've got the ability to clamp the frames as well, so you can play around with that. We also have a relative shift. So if I set this back If I want to bump up to frame 30 again, we set this to 30. I can press play here. You can see, you can kind of see this happening in this bar right here. This is kind of showing where this is taking place. And it kind of moves along here. I have noticed just in playing, depending on what you're doing, it seems to kind of slow things down a little bit. So just be wary of that may be something that happens. And we've got this custom, which by default is going to be set to F start. And this is where you can, which I don't know why they did this. They did it for some reason. I would think that this would just be set to $F. So that we get this. Because F start, I don't know, it just holds on that first frame, which doesn't really makes a lot of sense to me. But we can set a frame in here if we want. So if we wanted like frame 120, it's going to simulate up through. And this is where you get that like hold, right? So if you just want that one singular frame, this is how you're going to go about doing that. Lastly, we have this time pack, which is kind of an interesting node. I haven't fully figured out exactly what the intended use for this is. My brain's just not putting 2 and 2 together, I guess. But basically, this creates a cable that has multiple frames that are sampled in it. So if we do a cable unpack, and we set this to set fields from input, we're going to get 3 different frames here. And let me move forward a few frames. Let's go to frame 59 here. And actually, I'm going to set this one back. Let's do $F for this one so that we can kind of hop back and forth. So the way that we have this set up currently is it's going to take our frame and it's going to take the frame before and the frame after. That's what this step is doing. So we're going to have one frame in either direction. So we're going to go from frame 50, we're on frame 59. So we're going to get color 1 should be frame 59. Frame 58 should be that color 0. And then frame 60 should be that color 2. And we can change this to be the prefix or the suffix. That's just what that 0.0 is. So if I look at this, we have color 0 being displayed right now. So this should be frame 58 actually. So actually, I said I was going to leave this on $F. Let's set this to 58 and we can do like a switch node. Let's wire these up. So here we should be the exact same thing, which they are. And as I said, color 1 should be frame 59. So if I switch here, we should see a difference, which we do. So if I set this to 59 now, these should be the exact same, and they are. And then lastly, we've got color 2, which should be frame 60. You can see that we get a difference there. So it is frame 60. So we also have, so this is set to relative. We could set this to absolute, and we can get, if I set fields from inputs here, you can see what we get here. So we're going to get frames 1 through 10 on this. So let's just look at this. So color 0, 1, actually let's go all the way up to like 9. And you can see it's starting to move there just because that the initial flow solver is kind of slow to move. But we get the first 10 frames basically out of this. And if we wanted to, we can set this step up. So let's say, let's set this to a step of 5 here. And let's go back to color 0. So color 1, we should move forward 5 frames. 2, we're going to step outside of this because we have that frame range set to 1 to 10. So if I set this to 50, this should be different. So now at color 2, we're getting frame 10, color 3 or frame 11, whatever. And then we're getting just this step through on these. So color 9, we're deep into that simulation. So the step is going to control how many frames are in between, what the step is basically, how many frames are in between. So we can do by time as well if we want to do it that way. We can stick on relative. So it's kind of interesting the way that this works. It's a little weird. Like I said, I'm not really sure exactly how this is meant to be used or what this is meant to be used. I guess if you need to sample multiple frames. Initially, I thought this was supposed to be for like maybe like the denoise, because I think it needs like it needs the previous frame. So I guess you could wire it in here that way and just kind of pack them up that way. I guess that maybe is the intended use for those. I don't know what this TVD really use that one. So maybe that's what this is kind of intended for. And then you can cable unpack. I don't know if you wanted to do something else with it. Maybe you can, sample multiple frames and distort them all if you wanted to do that. I don't know. If you guys know exactly what this is supposed to be used for, the docs don't really say anything as far as what that is for other than sampling multiple frames. So it just takes a single input and samples at various times to produce the cable. So not really sure if it pairs with another node. I don't know. Denoise AI is the only one that I can think of that it would use or would pair with well. So if you know, let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to hear if it's a new node that's in there that I'm not aware of, then we'll take a look at that one as well. But anyways, hopefully this has helped you out and you learned about the new time shift or the new time related nodes in COPS. Glad to see that these are in here. They're going to allow us to do a lot of different things inside of COPS, and I'll definitely be taking a look at some of the things that we can do with them in the future and just building some things, some general things around them as well. So excited to get into all that. I am going to be covering a bunch of other things that are new in Houdini 22. So if you want to learn more about the stuff that is new in Houdini 22, make sure to stick around so that you don't miss any of that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching and have a good day.